You felt it too, didn't you? That little shift in the air where the bay gets quiet for half a heartbeat. Like the city knows a secret before the headlines catch up. Like the lights at Chase dim a fraction and everybody leans forward, waiting for the first chord. That's where we are right now, on the edge of a thing. Not a cute depth move. Not another. Maybe he helps him March flyer. A swing that changes how the floor looks at 2:07 in the fourth when the play breaks down and the room gets loud. Don't guess the name yet. Let your pulse settle. Ask yourself the only question that matters in May. What single piece makes Steph's reads easier, not prettier? Our spacing meaner, not wider? Our defense simpler, not softer? Here's what I can say without ruining the surprise. We're going to talk about a profile, not a poster. A movement shooter who doesn't just make shots, but bends coverages on the catch. A cutter whose timing turns a basic dribble handoff into a backline crisis. A grown-up wing who can guard his yard tonight and still have legs on Sunday. We'll map why the current playbook is quietly preparing for that kind of player with tighter stacks, deeper pin-ins, and empty corner actions. We'll talk locker room temperature, how you add without breaking the chemistry that finally started to hum. We'll look at cost and flexibility, how to pay enough to matter without painting yourself into a corner when the next door opens. And yeah, I'll give you the counter-arguments, the but defense, the but cap, the but touches, before I stamp a yes, no, and a hard walkaway. First, family business. You're watching Warriors News Fan Report. If you ride through cold shooting nights and stay for the ball movement poetry, hit subscribe, drop a like so this reaches more diehards, and in the comments, tell me your maximum offer and which rotation minutes you're willing to reallocate. Best cap same package gets pinned. Oh, right back to the hunt. Let's be honest about last year's tape. When we played fast, the floor tilted like a downhill ski run. Steph relocating 3 times in one possession. Brandon snapping the weak side skip. Moody punishing late tags. GP2 turning steals into layups. Draymond treating the ball like a yo-yo. But in the half court, where series are one too many possessions died in the mud. Teams sat on our pet split cuts, top-locked our shooters, bodied our cutters early, and dared someone not named Steph to make a hard shot with the lights close. Motion, feel, and IQ are our identity. Yet every identity needs an enforcer. The missing ingredient wasn't a heliocentric star. It was gravity insurance. The player who widens shells on principle, who cashes the 8 swing possessions that flip a game, who punishes top locks with one step and a clean catch and fire, who lives in the corner jail and baits help into bad decisions. A movement scorer who can function as a screener, a short roll passer in the slot, a quick trigger spacer from 28 feet, and a credible defender who doesn't force you to hide him. Watch the subtleties the staff has been laying in. More snug pick and rolls at the elbow to force guards to screen bigs. More delay actions where 5 holds the ball high and the wings braid around him. More staged post-ups not to bully, but to force the first help to commit and open the back door. You don't practice that menu aimlessly in September. You do it because you expect to plug in a piece who turns good idea into easy too. Now the introduction you deserve, not the one you've heard 1,000 times. This team still has the sharpest knife in the league when the ball is alive. Steph's movement plus Draymond's eyes. Pods is a connective tissue savant. Moody plays with a grown-up steadiness. Wiggins, when right, can still erase space like a blackout curtain. The bench guard minutes can trend defensive and nasty with GP2. The system is the star. The star polishes the system. But the league got smarter. Opponents are better at switching late and pushing us off spots early. They bump cutters, sit under screens, and dare us to live at the free throw line on a night when whistles vanish. In that context, the single biggest lever isn't invention, it's inevitability. Inevitability is what happens when your third option feels like a second option in the right matchup. When your weak side shooter is a no-help zone. When your average possession starts at plus 0.2 because the geometry is tilted before the pass is thrown. Okay? You've waited long enough. The news that has the group chats buzzing isn't a confetti cannon. It's a direction. The conversation in and around the building has narrowed to one archetype, and one name keeps sliding to the top of the whiteboard: Buddy Hield. Say it and feel your shoulders drop a half inch. We're not talking about save us with 28 on the road. We're talking about a specialist who turns our identity up to 11. A shot maker who doesn't need the ball to matter, whose very presence stretches coverage into mistakes, whose footwork on the move is built for our language. Sprint to screen, ghost on the pivot, sprint to the slot, catch square, shoot pure. The viral workout clip you saw this summer wasn't the point. It's a reminder. The point is what a professional mover shooter does inside our grammar. On the catch, without a dribble, under a clock, with a defender draped, he turns contested into makeable and makeable into automatic. That is not hype. That is math over 82 plus 16. Let's translate. Think 45 cut into 21 chase. Steph pitches to the wing and sprints into a handoff. If the defender top locks, Buddy becomes the screener. If they switch, you slip into daylight. Next trip, same alignment, reverse the ball and run, delay Chicago. Big holds at the top. Buddy pins down for Steph, then flips to receive the handoff himself. That one twist forces the nailed defender to take a step he doesn't want. 2 steps later, it's a catch-and-fire 3, or a one-dribble pull-up when the trail dies on the furniture. In Spain action, slot shooter becomes the back screener. If that's Buddy, the back line can't overhelp because the pop is real. Late clock, run him off a zipper into a touch screen from Draymond. And if the big shows, Steph lifts to the wing for a pitchback 3 that was only there because the initial gravity pulled 2 defenders to the wrong zip code. The beauty of a mover is not just makes. It's the thousands of micro errors he forces when the defense has to organize around him. Defensively, no one is pretending you're buying a wing stopper. You're buying enough length to contest without fouling. Enough understanding to peel, scram, and weak side tag with him principles. Enough competitiveness that you can close with him next to GP2 and still have the ball pressure you crave. The trick is lineup alchemy. Pair Buddy with 2+ defenders and a playmaking 5, and you don't chase stops with unicorns. You manufacture them by scoring, getting set, and letting the possession quality compound. Every great playoff defense starts with its offense buying it the right kind of possessions. Now, the part you always ask me to hit straight. Is this fact or speculation? It's speculation educated, pattern-based, scheme-sensible speculation. There's no parade permit filed, no dotted line sign. What there is, a roster that screams for a high-volume, high-accuracy mover. An offense that's been quietly leaning into actions built for one. And a player whose skill set slides into our ecosystem like a key into a cut lock. That's enough smoke to talk about the fire without lying to you. If it happens, it won't be because of a workout video or a tweet. It'll be because the staff believes our best path to winning 4 out of 7 is to turn the weak side into a problem every single trip. Let's talk rotations so it's not abstract. Opening wave, Steph, Buddy, Moody, Draymond plus a rim runner. Purpose, stress test on shell width. Punish top locks. Let Dre live as a DHO hub while the wings braid. First up, pods in for Steph. Run more delay into Chicago. Let Buddy be the handoff receiver who bends help and hit pods on the short roll or skip. Second unit, stagger Buddy with GP2 and a vertical spacer to bully opposing benches who hide defenders. Closing time, Steph, Buddy, Wiggins, or Moody, Draymond plus matchup big wing. On a hot night, you lean offense. On a rock fight, you lean GP2 and dare the other side to score 12 clean points under 4 minutes without giving you a run out. The point is, this doesn't steal anyone's identity. It amplifies them. Steph's off-ball becomes even nastier. Draymond's reads get one beat easier. Pods' connective passing turns into layups. Moody's corner gravity grows teeth because help has to sweat 2 directions at once. Cost without, drowning you in spreadsheets. You don't empty the chest for a specialist, even an elite one. You pay a real price because playoff equity costs, but you don't staple your tomorrow to a single idea. Matching money that doesn't amputate defense. One meaningful asset, a first or a true prospect equivalent, and maybe a conditional sweetener tied to team success. The minute the ass grows fangs, multiple firsts, your best young piece, and rotation defense, you smile, praise the player, and pivot. Flexibility matters not because of a hypothetical next star, but because role players age, injuries happen, and the league's tax structure punishes bad bets mercilessly. Risks. They're real. Spacing is a living thing. Put a non-creator mover on the floor, and you need intentional usage, or he becomes a bystander. The counter is scheme. Use him as a screener as much as a shooter, so the defense can't treat him like furniture. Set early triggers, so his first touch happens before the defense is fully set. Build night-to-night shot volume targets, so the gravity tax is paid no matter what. Defense? Hide nothing, put him in help. Keep him on primary bruisers, and play the lineups that let him contest without living in foul trouble. Chemistry? Be adults. Define roles on day one, show the film, praise the sprint as loudly as the shot, and let the room see how his gravity feeds everyone. The touches economy is a myth when the ball finds energy. It's only a problem when the offense stalls. Plan B and C because we're not children. Plan B, a lower-cost 3-and-D who doesn't bend geometry like Buddy, but defends at a higher level, giving you another switchable body in May while you squeeze offense from pace and motion. Plan C, split the difference, add a stretch big who can DHO at the elbow and a small, nasty guard who lives in jerseys and shoots corner threes. That duo won't create as much gravity on the move, but it can replicate the net impact across 48 minutes if you're disciplined with matchups and minute patterns. The logic tree is simple. If you can buy 8 higher quality possessions a night without giving away your backbone, you do it. Let's sit with the feel of it for a second. Imagine a Tuesday in February in Denver. Tied game, 3:19 left. We flow into Horn's twist. Steph goes to screen. Buddy lifts from the corner. Draymond shows the ball high. The nail defender takes one step too many, and the pass is in the shooting pocket before the close-out second step. Net snaps. Next trip, same shell, different cadence, low slip. Quick slip out, pitch back to Steph in the slot. Splash. That sequence is why you make the call, not a highlight reel from July. It's the predictably of creating clean looks when the other team knows exactly what you want. Timeline is a real conversation. There's value in getting this done before camp reps matter, language takes time, and you want your rotation math solved early. There's also logic in letting the first 10 games teach you who you really are and where the hole is widest before you pay retail. The key is decisiveness. If the price lives in the discipline lane, don't talk yourself out of a good idea because an imaginary perfect might appear later. If the market turns silly, don't talk yourself into chaos because the calendar flipped. Patience and urgency aren't opposites. They're the same value expressed at the right time. Where do I land? If the deal is matching money, that doesn't get the fence plus one real asset and a light conditional. I'm in. Yesterday. Not because Buddy. Hield is a savior. This team doesn't need a savior, but because his presence makes everything. We already do a little more inevitable. The 8 swing possessions become 10. The bad shots become fewer. The scramble to create a look becomes a trigger to generate a good one. If the ass balloons into multiple firsts and a blue chip, I'm out. You don't burn the garden for a single harvest when your core advantage is continuity and intelligence. And because I can hear the skeptics. Yes, this is speculation. It's connecting skill set to scheme shift to cultural fit. It's reading the subtleties of what the staff is drilling and what the roster lacks. It's not a promise. It's a plan that makes basketball sense. That's enough to talk about it honestly with you without pretending we know dates or dollars. Picture the first practice after it happens. The sound the net makes when a mover hits 5 in a row from the same spot without the ball ever touching the floor. The way the defense starts cheating a half step earlier than they want, and how that half step becomes a back cut and then a dunk. The clip session where the young guys watch a masterclass in relocation and learn that sprinting hard without the ball is a skill, not a chore. The quiet satisfaction on Steph's face when the gravity tax is finally shared. That's what we're talking about. Not fireworks. Control. You've been here long enough to know how we end. Be bold, not reckless. Pay for inevitability, not for posters. Let the system breathe by feeding it the right kind of oxygen. If Buddy Hield is the move at a disciplined price, you make it and you don't apologize. If he isn't, you stack smaller edges, keep your powder dry, and trust that this front office and coaching staff know how to turn IQ into wins. Either way, indecision isn't the plan. We'll track it, we'll break it down, and we'll be honest about the risks, because that's what this channel does. You're watching Warriors News Fan Report. Subscribe, like, and drop your walkaway price in the comments. Who starts with him? Who closes with him? And where do you steal those 8 possessions a night? Let's crowdsource the best version of this and hold the line together. See you at practice.